Thank you so much, everyone, for being here to listen to my story. My name is Samia Sleman. I am 15 years old. As a Yazidi, on August 3rd, 2014, ISIS attacked our areas in Sinjar and they took over all of the Yazidi homeland. They surrounded my village just like all the other Yazidi villages, and they took me and my family as hostages along with thousands of other Yazidis. When they took us, they separated families. They separated women and girls and young boys and children from men, and they handcuffed and tied all the men, and they took them to another place. They took most of the women and girls to their headquarters and places in Mosul and the other areas. I was in captivity with ISIS for 6 months and 12 days. During my time in captivity, we faced horrible situation in ISIS hands. They sold and raped the Yazidi girls as young as 7 and 8 years old. They tortured people. They made them starve in their. They hold us in schools and other places. When in captivity, I was being relocated with other Yazidi girls and sold out constantly to other ISIS members. They forced me to be separated. They forced me to be separated from my mother, and they beat my mother in front of me. My grandmother was with us also, and she resisted. She tried to keep me with her, but one of ISIS members hit her with a weapon on her head. But they did not care about anything like that. They forced us to be separated, so I was taken from my family. I was being held with hundreds of Yazidi girls in a school. During that time, I've seen. I was not the only one that had been tortured and raped, but all these Yazidi girls faced the same thing I faced, and there are still many in captivity facing the same thing. ISIS members even gave us as gifts to each other, not even sold us to each other. How can human beings do this and enslave and rape young girls in 8 and 9 years old? During that attack, ISIS killed thousands of Yazidi men. They enslaved, like I said, thousands of Yazidi girls and young boys. I remember being sold from one ISIS member that was around 50 years old to another one that was even older than him.
چه بشر ويشغلي ناكي.
These old ISIS men kept us at their house as sex slaves and spoils of war, and they violated our body.
از دم هالمالاوي دمام ابتعب ابرزالت اختصاب كرن دستولين قيمت شداندون وهات ابا مو شغلة مخراكر.
The last guy I was sold to, I was with him for his house for 2 months, and I faced horrible things at his hand.
طبعا أسنابتني بون بهزاري قيجي إزديا مرة بون شمك جكتر جيبون بيوختي دا.
And this is not what I only faced. The other Yazidi girls younger than me faced the same destiny.
فان داكي ما إزديا فيت مزنا في كيري زواجين نتهاتن رابونت كشتن.
And I've seen the older Yazidi women that killed them because they didn't want them as sex slaves, because they don't want the older women, they just killed them.
زاروي إزديا كتشكي عمري 4 سال هتا بهفت سالي إجداكات برنود برنا معسكرة شير بيت كدن.
As for the Yazidi boys, the younger ones, 6 and 7 years old and older than that, they took them to ISIS camps in Syria and other places to train them and brainwash them.
بشتيوان هردو مها أسفكريم مقول لازم اختيار كشخورك بمس خلاص ببن.
So after all that, I've been constantly thinking. I thought that I have to escape and find a way to get away from this.
أسبر موسلس دو أسبوع المالك دمام.
And the last one I was with for 2 weeks at one of ISIS houses in Mosul.
دسولين جمع اتشدان دن الوي مالي دا بس شما أنيزنجي جهكي بس خلاص ببن.
Because they knew I was thinking about that, and they were always watching me, so it was really hard for me to escape.
ملابس الشباب من برخو كرن مش عفاخو جيكر من سمسوكا خورياخو متشكر ومبازدا.
So one day I thought, okay, what should I do? I found some of the boys' clothes in that house, and I cut my hair and I put a hat on to escape from that house.
ساعة شش سبيه أصدر كتم حتى ششوني في إيفارس مستمر زت ماشي مسر من الطابة باراني بو.
So I escaped early in the morning, around 6 o'clock in the morning, and I just kept walking in Mosul in those neighborhoods because I looked like a boy. They just left me alone.
متكسيك سكنان مخاويته بختي ويمجو مبقينا جهك خيري.
Finally, I just waved at a cab driver, and he stopped, and I got in that taxi.
وإسلامي مساعدانو كر وزبرما مالخو.
That guy happened not to be with ISIS, and he helped me escape. He took me to his house.
هاو يكام تشكر وساني ما كردستان.
Yeah, he made me an ID, a fake ID with a different name, and helped me escape from Mosul to Kurdistan.
بله راستا أسخلاص بوم بس هيش بهزاري قيچت ما إزديا حاليا هاتنها 3000 هيش دستي ما دمانا قيچت ما إزديا مخطوف.
I know I was lucky to be able to escape, but thousands of Yazidi girls are still, we estimate the numbers to be around over 3,000 in captivity still.
أفقيج هم اختصاب كرن شغلا بيس بوارا كرن طلبات دين المكرن سردين يخشون من ميجي قرآني بخوندن.
They forced them to convert to Islam. They forced them to convert to Islam, and they tortured them and sell them to each other.
أسألك ممنونة وما وهمشك عصافي قصيكر.
Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to me.
Thank you, Samia. Just in awe of your courage to risk your life like that, to dress up and to try to escape. Can you tell us a little about some of those friends and relatives of yours you left behind? And are you ever able to get any news of them? Okay, here.
حاليا هاتنها 45 شخص خويت بابم هاتنها دستي وادنهيش.
45 people from my relatives and immediate family of my dad and mom are still in captivity.
بله بابي مجي وبابيرم ومامم أرسي.
My father, my grandfather, my uncle are in captivity still. We don't know anything about them.
هەتا ڕێژە ئیرۆ متشکیشوان نەبیستە.
Till today, we haven't heard a word about them. We have no idea where they ended up.
بەڵێ ئیرۆ ڕاستە ئەس بەرم باب و مامێ قەتم بەس ئەس بەر هەزاری ئێزدیا کەتم و هەزاری ئێزدیا کوشتن ئێخسیر کردن دەروبەر کردن.
But they're not the only ones. There are thousands of Yazidi families that are still waiting for their loved ones that are missing and are still in captivity.
Thank you so much.
Abid, could you tell us a little bit about, just briefly, if we could put the website up there, I think we have it, about your organization and what you're doing here in the United States to help the Yazidi community.
Yazda is a Yazidi organization. I'm one of the co-founders. I established this organization along with a group of my friends in the U.S. We were all former interpreters and advisors for the U.S. Army in Iraq. Myself, I worked for the Army for 5 years in Iraq to help them during the war. So when we came here, we were studying, going to school, and have jobs. We didn't do anything of this work before August 3rd of 2014. But when ISIS came, so we realized that we needed to do something. So we established this organization, and we have been in contact with State Department, other NGOs, and other governments around the world to advocate for the Yazidi community. We do reports on mass graves that we found in the areas that are liberated. We estimate the number of the Yazidis still in captivity over 3,000. We think that about 1,200 young boys are still in captivity being trained. About 2,800 Yazidi women have managed to escape or survived ISIS. And so we're providing, what we do is provide psychosocial treatment for the Yazidi girls and women that escaped ISIS. We have mobile clinics and health centers in Iraq that provide health care for the displaced people. We have cultural preservation programs to help the Yazidis and Christians preserve their cultures, and provide all sorts of information that is needed in that area.
That's great. That's wonderful. And we should always praise the UN when it does something good. I understand you recently got a UN grant.
Yes, we've been receiving mainly donations from people online, and with that money we used to help girls like Samia. They're still in Iraq. Luckily, Samia was able, along with a group of 1,000 Yazidi girls, to immigrate to Germany and receive help from the German government. But there are still a lot of people who survived ISIS and others in these camps that need help. So we provide them with cash, health treatment, and trauma treatment in our centers in Iraq, and we use that money for that. But we recently, like you said, we received grants from other organizations and one from the UN to help Yazidis go back and get jobs and rebuild their areas.
That's terrific. And the website, I believe, is yazda.org. Is that
it's
correct?
yazda.org.
That's
yazda.org.
That's great.